Hey fellow explorers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Lord of the Rings, Return to Moria, DURIN'S Folk. Episode 8, Prepping for the First Expedition. Alright, they got a little bit of progress, not a ton. I am sort of curious where the hostiles are coming in. I think what I'm going to do, let's put a standing torch down. They're spawning somewhere within this quarter that hasn't been land claimed, but I don't think that's true. I'm not sure where they're coming in. It's weird. Oh, maybe they can spawn up here. Nope. Whatever. The occasional dog is not going to get anyone killed. And in fact, your own delve dwarves can't die. They can only get knocked out and then be rescued by you. So it's not like there's like an actual threat to their lives. But there we go. That's a little... I annexed that area, and they should start using... I don't see them using the new path, so I'm a little worried that there's, like... the walkability of this new path is wrong, but I don't know, whatever. We'll check back later. Alright, I'm gonna eat another llama bread, and we will head out again. I've just been sort of skipping my, like, sleep, eating crack bread. You know, like you do. So we got everything we need. And in order for me to get Mythril gear, I'm going to need to mine up the Mythril. So I'm going to go fast travel to the Mythril ore mapstone. And the current priority is improved gear. So we're heading into the deep Underdark, or whatever you want to call it. Where I am not going to be allowed to be down here for very long without dying, essentially. You take damage over time if you're down here for too long. So it's going to be important for us to, like, mine and then get out. But I don't need a ton of... Oh, come on. Jump. I don't need a ton of Mythril in order to make a new axe. Or sword, or whatever. In fact, how about you guys decide what I make? Let me see about a poll. So I'm definitely going to want at least one... I like using the illumination shield so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So what main weapon to use? We could either do a mace, axe, or sword. Keep in mind, I'm already going to be making an axe and blessing it with, like, tree cutting. So we could have two axes, one for, like, killing and one for tree cutting, or to mix it up. So it's a Twitch poll.
My trail, a terrible day it'd have he. If a troll should trundle up my trail,
any differences? Yes. Maces are really good against single target and armored targets. And then swords and axes have different, like, attack patterns. So axes do like a swirling attack and swords do like a forward slashing attack. So their, like, attack patterns are what's really different. But in terms of, like, maces versus blades, like blunt versus blades, blunt in this game is ideal for armored targets, and blades are ideal for less armored targets. And the game explains that when you, like, equip weapons. So if you take a look at the bottom... Oh, the path is this way. The bottom left, right above where it says day 72, I have, like, this little bluish bar. That is my, like, morale timer for how long I can be in total complete darkness before losing all hope and, like, dying. Essentially before succumbing to shadow. Of 29 ore so far? Okay. And you can offset some of that, like, shadow time by healing. But, you can also see my minimap on the top left is, completely obscured. The danger of the, like, deep shavs is, you no longer have a map, so it's easy to get lost and easy to die. Plus, there are nameless beasts down here, which are, like, mini Balrogs. So they're definitely not something to mess around with. So I'll get one more node and then we'll get out of here. Realistically, I should be hitting like the richer looking nodes, and I haven't been, but I have enough Mythril, it's fine. Okay, we got 56 or 58 of it. The other thing that I would suggest is when you're doing deep mining, like I am, to activate the minimap ladder. So if I had clicked this and gone show, I'd be able to see the icon where the ladder was, giving me at least some notion of how to return back to not being in deep shadow. So definitely do that. For me, I knew I wasn't traveling far enough to, you know, get lost and die down here. But and then of course have like llama's bread or some consumable to be able to heal, because if you do get down there and you do start taking damage over time from being in the darkness too long, it sucks to die down there, because then you have to go fetch your corpse from like the deep underground, which is not so fun. Dwarven elevators would be nice. Yeah.
Will do.
All right, so it looks like you guys want me to get a sword. Copy that. So I'm going to queue up the Mythril ingots. And then we'll, that's delve tools. My spare, I really need another spare food chest. Alright, for the morning, queue up some fresh mushrooms for myself. And here is what my salvagers have grabbed. So they managed to grab some more mushrooms. So it'd be wise if I got more guano, back guano, so that I could easily farm more of the stuff I need. Where is that Mythril ladder indicator? That was in Bar? I think. I want to... Oh, there it is. Alright, sleepy time. Oh, the other thing is it wouldn't be terrible for me to help out the salvagers, especially if I'm like about to go to sleep, because, you know, they don't work that efficiently. They're pretty slow at their jobs. Cheers, Crimson.
What?
Hey, Ray Crever. You're absolutely welcome. My pleasure. I love what I do, and it's you guys that allow me to do it, so...
Sing that tune!
I'm bad at showing thanks. It's just something I suck at IRL, but, like, I truly appreciate it. You guys are amazing.
That's the work of Durin. That's the work of Durin. That's the work of Durin, King of Axes, King of Dwarves. Ha ha! Let's sing it again!
Alright, just cleaning up some of the boxes here. It will look like it's raining dirt. That's the salvagers, like, actually harvesting and replanting. And they harvest and replant. They do the whole process themselves, so you don't have to do it, which is great. Okie dokie. So this chest is going to be travel food. Did the mission log go away? What do you mean? Like what I'm working on?
At your service.
Thought I had built on. Where'd it go? Or cram. Where'd the cram go? Yeah, there's the cram. Oh, last stream I was looking for Holland? Yeah, no, I've already been there. Okay. So taking a look. There is a traveler outside of the Dimrow Gate that wants to talk to me. Okay. I know, so this is important for game mechanics. So let's go ahead and get the Mythril stuff smelted, and then that will be my next goal. So I can't make Mythril in weapons in this base. So you guys wanted a sword, and I wanted an axe. So let's see. Recipe list. The Great Mythril Forge. The sword, one-handed, requires me to have 1 amethyst, 1 fine leather, and ironwood. So let's grab the ironwood. The amethyst. And 1 fine leather. Which I don't have any fine leather, so I'll have to make it. Luckily I have salt, so I'll be able to make it. Alright, then the other recipe is the axe, and that is fine leather and an oren. Fine leather and 1 anoran and ironwood that I already have. Okay, got everything I need. Eat myself a stuffed mushroom. And then heading to the Mythril Forge. Oops. I'm so used to cancel being on the left and confirm being on the right that when they invert it, I'm like too stupid to adjust. Alright, so here it is. Our one-handed slasher. Done. And then the axe. Done. Switching them in. And I have 3 Mythril left over. So the axe is going to be for me to cut down trees. And then the sword is going to be my like main weapon to kill things. And we want to bless them up. The other thing is this, the Mythril Forge is a really good place to get bee honey, cave honey, and droppings. Plus mushrooms, but I don't really need mushrooms at the moment. Because it's completely full of, like, you know, those 2 items. So every time I'm here, you'll see me, like, run around real quick. Because this is going to allow me to plant more things back home, and because I already have 2 salvagers doing my farming, I might as well just, like, keep adding the things I need. Because right now, we're growing all the crops we need for food, but not for booze. So I'm going to want to add even more plant plots for booze as time goes on, so that I have a renewable resource of booze, too. Alright, let's get these things blessed. And then my old sword can just be put away in a box. That'll work. I don't know what to put the blessing for the sword, so I'm gonna have you guys decide. So, I could do fire.
The mountain smiles on
Lightning.
us today.
Hold. Yeah, we'll just do those 3. The reason I like those 3 over the other ones is the other ones are like only good for dragons, or only good for orcs, or only good against shadow, or only good against beasts. So I'd rather have just like some sort of element. But for the axe, I'm going to put Whisperwood on it, which has a chance to get cuttings when striking trees and increases the damage to trees, so that we can tree harvest much faster, like insanely much faster. All right. There's one other thing. So I did say that I didn't want multiple delvings, and I kind of lied in that I want like a dummy delving for the wanderer who's about to join, and you'll understand in a minute. So, because I don't want them to take up population here at home. So I need 8 Khazad steel ingots for that. I'm just gonna make 9. And, because the wanderer that the game wants me to talk to, this Greet the Wanderer, he's gonna need to move into the delving, but my current delving's full. So I'm gonna make an extra delving for him. Without spoiling who he is or what he does, one little thing I can say is that, he does not work. He's not a dwarf that you can assign tasks to. So that's why I don't want him in my home delving, because he's a freeloader for all intents and purposes. Okay, how much more soil? I have 8 out of 18. Got it. I'm also sort of curious if my dwarves are using that like shortcut I built them. I hope so. So I'm just waiting for the Khazad ingots to smelt. Is there a corner? Sloped corner? Oh, that's too big. God, it just... No? Game, why? There's like a hole in my roof, and there's like nothing to fill it with the correct size. Whatever. I just wanted to put some of my roof back together, because it's pretty banged up. I never bothered to come up here and hammer things, but I'm waiting for the Khazad steel, so might as well do this. Yeah, I'm sure I could figure out something that like fits, but I really don't care enough. I'm sort of hoping that the dwarf and the mason roll could handle these tasks, but like they really can't. They're like too dumb. They bug out constantly. Trying to repair. I think what is happening is they're trying to repair like ceilings that they can't reach, so they just stand underneath the ceiling in a perpetual like I'm trying to repair it loop. Which is why I turned them into a salvager, because they were unable to accomplish their job as a mason. Alright, Khazad, are you done yet? Ah! One way they could fix it is just, like, allow you to hammer things from farther. Like, it'd be a little weird, but just, like, give us a bigger range. Or give the NPCs a bigger range. You don't even need to bother with the players. If the NPCs had a bigger range, it would be problem solved. Alright, we got all 8. Perfect. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to set up a delve stone for the Wanderer. So I needed the 8 Khazad for that. And now that we have it, let's head over to the first hall. And I'll set up a delve stone at the first hall here. Done. Oh, build near hearth. Done. This delving is going to be first hall delving. Ta-da! Okay, so now we have extra space for extra dwarves. So heading out to the Dimrow Gate. And there was a wanderer that wanted to speak with me. But let's take a look at the other guys too. So you are a cook miner. The ones I want to hire the most is something called versatile. The versatiles can do any role. So they're like way better than any other dwarf. But here's the wanderer, Roar.
Cheers!
Stories of your renown have spread across the Misty Mountains. Yet it was the glow of the beacon that drew me. I'm an experienced traveler and I know my way around these peaks. You're a wanderer? I've traveled the Misty Mountains from Gundabad to Methedras. I'm happy to show you the way. Your travels may prove useful. Welcome. And recruit to the first hall delving. So, discuss expeditions. Find the Wanderer of Roar and talk to him. So this is a unique dwarf who allows you to go on expeditions, and expeditions are honestly the way to get resources in bulk. Way more than mining forever. You'll see in a minute. So hey, Roar. I will earn my keep. In my wanderings, I have come to discover the locations of resources that may be of great value to you. Could you lead an expedition for such resources? I'd be honored. First, we'll need an expedition table. From it, I can pinpoint locations based upon what I've encountered. Also, you can tell me what you need and I will scout for it. I will build you an expedition table. And, I guess I will give you a meal table here, Vroor. And, like, I'll be back with a bed at some point, maybe. I'll consider it. Alright, so the expedition table is a new item that we can make. And we need Ubasam wood for it. I need 47 more wood. Alright, let's check up on the monument progress. The flame monument that we queued up. About halfway. Well, quarter of the way if you consider this is only stage 1 of 2, but still, not bad, not bad. So now you can understand why I got the Mythril axe, because we are going to need Ubasam wood, and basically things that are like stony, ores, gems are really easy to farm, but what isn't, what you can't go on excursion for is like wood, necessarily. So having an axe, which is amazing at collecting wood, is going to make your life a lot easier. So here we are by the Great Drain Pumps, and you can see the difference of this axe to collect wood. I hit for 500 damage. Pop. Oh, well, if it could actually hit the hitbox. I found it eventually. Yeah, this thing is going to collect... Also, the Barrack Blessing that I put on this thing allows you to get tree cuttings to plant your own trees. So if you want to, like, plant trees, you can. With that in mind, the tree plots are very soil expensive, and the trees grow really, really slow. So it's 24 soil dressings, and the trees are like extremely slow growth rate. So I don't think it's probably worth it outside of doing it for aesthetic reasons, in my opinion. But you need the Barrack Blessing on a weapon in order to get tree cuttings. And you can get tree cuttings for the Balsam Wood, which requires like low light, or for Elf Wood, which requires bright light. So similarly, we can cut down the elf trees. Now, once upon a time, when the game first released, trees did not regrow on their own, which made it really difficult to collect elf wood, but they do now. So the need to plant trees is very low, considering they like naturally regrow over time. But we have all the balsam wood that we needed, way faster than what we would normally have taken because of this beauty of this axe. So let's go ahead and get ourselves the expedition map. And I'm going to put this expedition map right next to my Delvestone. Right here. So this is the Misty Mountain Range. And here's the way they work. Let me hide the overlay for a minute. So you can, but I want to, you see me. Whatever, you don't need to see me. So you can pick one of these locations, and they change daily. And there's different threats that you'll face in these locations. So, like, if we went to this wild deep, there is moths, drakes, wargs, fell beasts, and orcs. And we can track down specific resources we want here. And this is a really good way to get, like, bulk resources for that thing. So, yeah, that would be the TLDR of the expedition map. It's a really handy tool. Okie dokie. Putting everything away. And now I'm going to have you polled about what to do next. Go on expedition. If you want me to, like, obtain some sort of resource. Alternatively, I could farm for what I need for Flame 2. Or Flame Monument. I could also improve the delving. So you guys can pick between those 3 goals. So, talk to the Wanderer while on an expedition. Raise all delvings, meaning have another great monument. And then just, you know, improve everything. View the sword. Oh, yeah, what was the result of that last poll? I, like, totally blanked on the results. Some lightning to it. Thunderstrike. Done. Shockwave blade. I like it. Whoa. Good fortune that Wanderer brings. Expeditions will prove valuable for the company. Fate. Fate brought him to us. Continue explorations with him. Bring back anything not found in Moria. Two of my dwarves have error messages, so I should investigate that in just a minute. I'm guessing they can't reach their bed for some reason. and that will need to be remedied post-haste. But yeah, look at all the lovely resources that we just, like, auto-farmed. And it does look like the cook is using the new method to get here, which is great.
I'm getting tired.
So, Ajuki and Sigbert want a bed, and they're, like, too dumb to walk up the stairs. I'm gonna make sure... Yeah, no, they have beds.
My legs are about to give.
So what I can do is I can withdraw them. And then put them back. And this is why I have their beds, like, all clumped together. Because it resets them every time they're just, like, kind of bugged. They also need to be able to freely path to their beds. So, what I mean by that is, if you stack all the beds on top of one another, they won't actually be able to lay down. So, be mindful about that, because you don't want to lay all their beds in one big pile and them get stuck. Alright, looks like you guys want me to go on an expedition. I'm going to do a little bit more repair here, and then I'll do just that. I don't think we're going to have, like, goblins come all the way into our delving this far to do damage, but it'd be really annoying to have to put everything back the way it is supposed to be. It's also worth noting that it seems like a bunch of my dwarves might have bugged out, because I only have like 3 sleeping right now, which indicates that the others are somewhere else and aren't working or whatever. Because it's the hour of the day is like midnight, more or less, and they should be asleep. So if they're not asleep, something's wrong. Yeah, my eagle friend is so fast, I'm just seeing his after image. I mean, to be fair, he does, like, show up out of nowhere. One might assume that he is super fast as a result. Do walls deteriorate over time due to damage? No. Only when they're attacked by enemies. Or your own pick. Your dwarf NPCs won't do damage to the walls, but, like, enemy troops will when you're under siege. And this is just insurance so that I don't have to, like, fix anything later on. I thought the stonemason would handle this, but obviously the stonemason, like, stood around, did nothing, and I fired him because he was lazy. So now it's reasonably repaired up here. Now it does look like a whole bunch of the dwarves didn't really load in, as you might have noticed. Sometimes just sleeping will resolve it, and if sleeping doesn't resolve it, I can always save and load, because saving and loading is another reasonable thing to do to fix things. You guys want me to go on an expedition? Now, the only problem I have with the expedition is I don't actually know what resources I'm lacking. For, but I do know what will be part of the Flame 2 monument. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to farm for Flame 2 monument materials. The only worry I have is whether or not I'm going to need to reset the dwarves, because I don't feel like I have a full company here right now. So I'm going to reset them all. Fortunately, they do keep their tools, but I do hope that this bug gets worked out.
Will do. Aye.
But their professions are maintained, meaning I don't need to reset their professions. Question. Do any of them... Can any of them build that aren't currently building? No. Okay. I was wondering if I could stack even more builders on, but apparently not.
No place I'd rather be.
Alright, before we head out on a expedition, I'm gonna want to eat a nice full meal. The other thing is I am going to... So, I know just from experience that I am going to need Red Mountain Trader rep in order to build the Flame Monument. Because I'm going to need to buy the red sandstone for the monument. So we should farm emeralds, or what we need for carpenter kits, or gold and silver filigree. So the carpenter kits is steel, which would be coal and iron, and the gold and silver filigree is an artisan trade good, and I don't have any artisans, so I wouldn't be able to do that anyway. So emeralds or steel. Got it. So the reason I mention that is not everything is always available. So we have gold, quartz, topaz, sapphire, ruby, coal, amber, tin, garnet, iron, citrine, copper's lead, sunstone salt, iron, ruby, tin, garnet, citrine. So we want probably emerald. And I'm going to tell him to search for emerald. And a emerald expedition should be available at dawn. And then subsequent... Oh, that's not the lunch I made. So I'm going to go on an expedition anyway, for, like, things that I'm going to want to amass. So I'm going to try to go on an expedition for gold, I guess. But, oops. But eventually we're going to want emeralds, because that's going to be easiest to amass a lot of.
So say you left familiar peaks and tarried out of town. Would you hoist the heart of
I have other things to take care of.
So would a floor barrack solve the issue, or just pass it along? It could solve the issue. I'm not really sure. I mean, ultimately I think there's a lot of, like, small bugs involved in this DLC that is unfortunate, because it's...
Oh, I live for ale, a fire, and a song.
So yeah, looking around, I don't see the dwarves I'm supposed to see. Right? And I had just reset them. So we have builders that are, they say they're building, but I don't see them. So I'm just going to reset them. Because everything else I almost don't care about. I want progress on the monument. The other method, of course, would be to leave the roll, load it back. We'll kind of do both. When in doubt, reboot. Gamer's Creed.
Aye.
Okay, I hear a lot of footsteps, and they're all back. Do I need the coins with me? I really don't, no. I'm gonna put them in my delve tools. Because I'm gonna want, if I'm farming resources, I'm gonna want as much room as I can fit for resources. It's also worth noting that wherever I'm headed, I'm not gonna be able to build stuff. I'm not gonna be able to, like, build a hearth or anything like that, so I don't need coal. Like, just wood scraps is fine. And then I'll take my brew skin. Thank you for tuning in to Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria, DURIN'S folk. which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow dwarves.